Hello, and welcome to Retro Boost Live. Nice to have you here, Passix. Appreciate you tuning in. Yesterday, did a big Rad 2X stream playing Super Nintendo N64 and a little bit of GameCube, mostly failing at Super Godzilla, which is what happens to be playing right now. It's great. Today, gonna be starting a playthrough of Ratchet and Clank, and then just kind of alternate that with some other stuff as I do the weekend streams. Probably thinking that I'm going to do like a CARBY focused one next Saturday. Sort of like what I did with the Rad 2X one. It's more like device focused stuff. Ratchet and Clank, be playing this on the PS2, obviously, with my 5X Pro. We're going to start it off by setting up the profile for it. I have like a basic one, but Passix was sharing some new information that I wanted to try out after some posts in our Discord server, the Retro Boost Discord server. So we're going to play around with some of that stuff and see if it helps it or not. We'll see. Let's get into our frame. Ratchet and Clank. There's the audio. Alright. Whoops. Well, there we go. Alright. We got it figured out. I figured out what happened last time. Grab our handy dandy remote. Now, I do have like a basic PS2 profile already set up. I do have to change something out of the gate though. No. Genlock, although I really wanted to give that a shot, not the most compatible with the Elgato capture card, so I'm going to have to keep it on triple buffer. Keep all that handshake stuff normal. Alright. But this is kind of the PS2 profile that I've been enjoying so far. It doesn't capture the best. It's like the one problem with it. Like on my preview monitor right here, I love what this looks like. But it is 1080p over. We've scaled it to be scaled in, dialed in 4:3 because we're using high-res 858 with, you gotta make sure you allow interlace, otherwise it won't work. Sharp, although you could do soft or smooth, really. Depends on how you're trying to emulate the CRT look, really. Bob and CRT Simulate, which is a combo that I picked up from doing like a scanline focused live stream, which again on the preview monitor I think looks fantastic. Doesn't capture the best though, which is the problem. And then this is Exponential with Shadow 1 with slight bumps to gamma and color boost. What I want to do... That's weird. Watch that. Oh, that's fine. I thought that was going to screw everything up, and it didn't. Alright. Alright, so I have... the main thing I wanted to see was the phase detect. Which menu was that under? Where was that? Oh, well, medium, that's fine. I want to be able to calibrate the screen stuff too at some point. OSD, no. Am I going crazy here? Where's the face detect? The bypass. Let's see what that does. Actually, it'd probably help me notice if I take off the other stuff. Yeah. It's probably not going to pick up in the stream much because of how compressed it gets when it gets to YouTube. But I do see it making a difference. It's subtle, but it's there. Like, absolutely. I think maybe it's more noticeable on the PS1 stuff. Hard to say. Ah. Auto. I dig it. I dig it. It's like it's kind of like what happens with N64 games when you put it on the N64 sampling mode. Like, it picks up like a really digitized kind of flavor to it. It's sort of like that, but not as drastic. So that's cool. Keep things on sharp. And then I also want to see what your scan line looks like on my previous preview monitor, because you were doing exponential, which I like as well, and then grill course. I like it. Bring down the gamma. Okay, so these are pretty much. I'm in 1080p over versus fill, but I think everything else is the same. Boop. Then your Y offset. I really want to get some kind of way to mess around with that calibration stuff. That looks cool. But this is basically the profile that PASIX was sharing, but for PS1 application through PS2. This is a PS2 game, but that's the combo of settings there, which is pretty cool. I definitely want to play around or understand more of those like kind of next level functions in the 5X Pro, such as like the phase bypass and things like that. So just so we can kind of compare where we're at versus where we started. So this is our default, and then boop, that's where we ended up. And the logo looks way cleaner. Like, that's pretty obviously better. I'm a fan. What I'll do is set that back to default, and then I'm gonna change the gamma a little bit. I think -1 looks best for my monitor. Color, I usually keep it at 3. I dig it. You gotta get your face up into it to really appreciate the detail. Cool. I'm a fan. PS2 is always something that I'm tinkering with, and I've never really landed on something official, but the phase bypass thing is good information. And I think what I'll also do, I think this will capture better if I keep it in motion adaptive. Yeah, it's really hard to say, but capturing scan lines is just so difficult. Sometimes it works as you think it will, sometimes it's not even close. Make sure all that's still correct. I think it's... Never clean. Never clean. All right. The vertical could probably be adjusted a little bit, maybe tick it up, and then I think we're set. That's the beautiful thing about the 5X Pro. You could just dedicate your life to messing with the settings and then never actually play any games. Hello, Emigeddon. Thanks for popping in, and I understand completely. Okay. Let's see how we do. Ooh, circle. Oh, the early days of games where the one that makes the most sense is not the select button. Let's try and... Oh man, I just had a great idea. Since it's 480, it's a little 4x3. Okay, watch this. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. No, it's just out of range. I was about to say if I could just move it like all the way over. Keep the chat. Well, I can get it like this far at least. Look at that. Man, that would have been sick. I mean, pretty, kind of. There we go. Now the chat won't be on it, at least. That's something. I'm not going to save that, though. Because then I'm going to load up something. I'm going to play like Metal Gear Solid 3 or something and then be like, why is it so screwed up? Alright. Ratchet and Clank. I love the PS3 ones. Those are the ones that I pretty much played the most of. I had played like a little bit of this one at like a friend's house or something. I owned it in the form of the Ratchet and Clank like HD collection that was on PS3 when like every company was releasing HD collections left and right. So that's like mainly how I played this. I never beat it. I probably only got like 1/4 of the way through it before other things just grabbed my attention. But I love the PS3 ones, so it would be fun to like actually complete these PS2 ones in sequence. The movie / the PS4 one were like a remake of this with adding in some other stuff. The PS4 one, I didn't play it. Like, I think I own it, but I never played it. It's like that. I didn't realize that the movie was like a vehicle for that game, and vice versa. It's weird. It's like a remake, but also like a movie licensed game. It's very strange. I definitely want to play the 5th one though, or not the 5th one, the PS5 one. It seemed better. Ooh, alright, now that the game is running. Never clean.
Welcome to the Gadgetron Help Desk. We're here to offer you advice during your interplanetary travels.
I definitely can see what the phase detect did to the text. I like it. Of course. My other way of doing it is shadow. But the problem with shadow, again, is that like it doesn't capture right. Like, it's these like beautifully defined little hexagons on my monitor, but it's not what goes into the stream. Grill Course actually seems to be capturing better. So, I'll take it. Oh, Ratchet and Clank. It's funny how these games have like not really changed. Like, I could just pick this up and I know immediately what I can or can't do with certain moves. Good old action games. Alright, we can try that. Let's get to a spot that I can... Yeah, the jail bars. It's a good term. I dig it. So medium's the default. They say, like, if you're using HT Retrovision cables, you shouldn't even have to use it at all. Yeah, it's sharper with it off/light. Well, let's see what the text looks like. I think light looks better. Happy New Year to you as well, Emmy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think light looks better. No. Woo! Little bunny. Always something to play around with.
You can interrupt help desk messages by pressing the triangle button. To disable help desk messages, please select options from your pause menu.
The nice thing about this controller is, like, the PS2 is actually the one console that I never have to map anything for, because it just kind of is in PS2 mode. I also remember that when the PS4 one came out, that was like the first time that they've ever like touched up on Ratchet's design, like it's since the PS3 era, which really didn't change anything. It was just a matter of it looking nicer, and everyone kind of got hung up on the upper lip that he had, because that was like the newest, like the most obvious thing. And like, to be honest, it kind of freaks me out too, because like I put that movie on again a couple weeks ago as background noise, and I remember getting like just staring at his lip when he first appeared on screen. I was like, I don't care for this. It's definitely something you have to get used to. First weapon.
To use your bomb glove, press the circle button to equip it, and the circle button again
Nice.
to fire. You can also use it in first person by holding down the L1 button.
Throw. Does this one not have... I guess they don't have strafing in this one? Maybe I don't have a gun yet, so I don't know. I don't remember when the strafing first appeared. Maybe it was one of the sequels, but we'll see. I just forget. It's been too long since I've popped in this one. R2 makes him crouch. One does as well, unless they're not mapped correctly. Maybe I was wrong. We'll have to see if it tells me at some point.
interesting. You're quite handy with your wrench.
You bet. I built that ship with it.
Oh man, when did the voice actor for Ratchet change? Was that also like a change in the PS3 era,
Do
I
you know where I
think?
might find that fellow?
Well, he's on the radio every week. Other than that, no. Hey, what's with all this save the solar system stuff anyway?
Oh god. I failed to remember that. He sounds like a surfer dude.
Our planet has become so polluted, overpopulated, and poisonous that we are no longer able to dwell here. But I, Chairman Drek, have a solution. We are constructing a pristine new world using the choicest planetary components available.
It's a great plan.
What does this mean to you might ask? Using highly sophisticated technology, which you couldn't possibly understand, we will be extracting a large portion of your planet and adding it to our new one.
That was like the one thing about the movie that wasn't done well, is that it was very toothless. They had him stealing chunks of deserted planets, but if they're deserted, then who cares? Like, it was really strange. It wasn't until the end that he took him from like a habited planet.
Sniveling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me and kiss my... Still on? Well, turn it off, you idiot!
The people on those planets are hosed. Well, good luck getting Captain Quark to help you.
Actually, you could help me. If you could use your ship to take me to the coordinates contained in this infobot, I might be able to gather further information there.
Even if I wanted to, I can't. I'm missing a crucial component of the ship.
The robotic ignition system.
How did you know that?
I, sir, happen to be equipped with the latest in robotic ignition systems. My programming
Love these
allows me to
guys.
start any ship
Ratchet
I
and
choose.
Clank.
So, I agree to take you to this wherever it is.
I
Can
guess
you get my ship started for me?
out of all the big PS2 franchises, I mean, Ratchet and God of War were like the only two that endured beyond the PS2, right? Because Sly Cooper had a PS3 game. So yeah, because Jack and Daxter, I don't think ever was beyond the
This could be a problem.
PS2/PSP.
Take care of it.
Whoa, this is great! So that's where I've been stuck this whole time.
Please return your appendages to the steering mechanism, sir.
Huh? Oh, right. Sorry. Oh, and by the way, you can stop calling me sir. The name's Ratchet.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh yeah, Crash. Because Crash, that's right. Because Crash
My
came
serial
back.
number is B54.
Crash got its
Oops.
time in the sun again.
I'll just call you Clank for short. Hang on.
Was there even like a core Crash game on
So you see,
PS2?
it would be most beneficial if your citizens
I can't
were
think of
not
one
in
if
the
there
city
was.
when my workers begin removing it.
Preposterous! I will not stand for
I'm
this.
trying to think. I don't remember.
Unfortunately, you have no choice in the matter.
Let's just see what Captain Quark has to say about that, my goodness.
The character designs are so like good. Like, considering this is the first one, it's like 2002, I think. These character models are pretty detailed and very expressive.
And my patience.
This is your last chance. Stop this madness now!
Okay, wait. You're right. I will withdraw my troops.
Really?
No! He's all yours, gentlemen. Try not to leave any
No.
marks.
That's what I thought. There's probably some spin-offs or like a racing one or something, but I think that one was MIA. Spyro too. God, Spyro got it rough too. So disappointing. Like, the PS1 Spyro games are pretty fire in my opinion. And then there's like a couple of good ones here and there after, and then franchise just kind of vanished. And then they used Spyro's name to launch that Skylanders toy thing. And then all the sequels, Spyro was just kind of in the backseat for those. And there just hasn't been like the Reignited thing was pretty cool, but you know, it wasn't like a new game. I've played a little bit of Time Splitters 2. Never owned it, but I did play it at a friend's house. I remember that was one of the games that we went, if I remember correctly, went pretty nuts with Action Replay on specifically. Because of all the little multiplayer modes that it had and how you can play with bots and stuff. We played a little bit of the story mode. But there was kind of a clever part where like you're going through a level and then your character like goes to like a little time warp thing to like greet your past self to give you a key or something like that. Like pretty funny. That franchise has also just kind of been dormant for a while. Bomb away. You can run, but you can't hide. I remember that, I think, it might have been on that What Happened series, I think talked about how they were like trying to get a fourth one or something off the ground, or whatever it would have been, 3 or 4. Just a lot of stuff was going wrong behind the scenes, I think. I don't recall the specifics. They should bring that back, though. Oh, goodbye. Ooh, that was weird.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, what are you? Mercenaries? Torturers? Assassins? I'll tell you anything. Here, take my infobot. It's all I've got left.
Sir, we're not assassins.
Hold on. Let's see what he's got.
God. Oh, here we go.
Has this ever happened to you? Hi, I'm Captain Quark, and believe me, there's nothing worse than staring down a Blargian snagglebeast from the inside and knowing your equipment isn't functioning properly. That's why I come to Al's Robo Shack for all my electronic needs. Al has been the exclusive repair shop for my super electro gadgets since I was knee-high to a sand mouse. If Al can't fix it, it's not broke. Right, Al? You said it, pal. So if you're fighting crime, or just fighting grime, come to Al's Robo Shack in Metropolis for all your robotic repairs. Al's Robo Shack, it's Quarktastic.
Do you know what this means?
Yeah, Captain Quark is really sold out.
No, it means Captain Quark is on Metropolis. We could tell him about this invasion.
If we had a ship.
What? A ship? What? You're not going to
Yeah,
torture
Quark is
me?
awesome.
Well,
Quark
the
is good. He's
planetary
very
chairman
funny.
I could arrange for you to
And again, that's all. I gotta look it up to be sure. But again, the voice in this one's very different than where it ended up in the future games. Whether it be a different actor or just the performance is different.
You should press the select button to bring up the map and go to your ship. It's marked with a star.
All the gears, all the screws, all the bolts. Select star. Visit Al's Shack. I always loved the little, I don't know which game started doing it, but the one that they would do like the little infomercials for each gun, or maybe they'll do that in this one, but I remember the ones in like Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time were always so funny. It's been so long since I've played this one specifically. Alright. God, what a beautiful game. Jeez. Yeah.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
Give it to me.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yay! Oh, nice.
Welcome to the Captain Quark Fitness Course. If you're strong enough, fast enough, and clever enough to beat my fitness challenge, you will receive a reward from my head trainer. Simply make your way to the third island to complete the course. Good luck! Quark Enterprises is not responsible for sprains, broken bones, snapped tendons, bruised egos, or accidental death incurred while taking the challenge.
Bruised
Excuse me, Captain,
egos.
but we have more pressing issues. We urgently need your assistance.
Clank,
Yes?
do you notice anything unusual about Captain Quark?
Well, I find the fact that he has a spring where his leg should be quite puzzling.
And why do you think that is?
Possibly an injury incurred while battling evil?
This isn't the real Captain Quark, you numbskull. It's a robot.
Oh.
God, they're like the relationship between the two of them is so different here than it ends up in the sequels. Oh, a wall jump. Oh, woohoo! Beautiful. Do we have the helicopter stuff yet? No. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. It's like he called him a numbskull. It's like so weird. You numbskull. And there we go.
These moving walls also function as jump slots. Jump and jump again to kick off the walls in midair until you reach the top.
Every platformer has its own terminology for wall jumping. I think Mario 64 called it a wall kick. Oh no! Oh, balls. Oh. Yeah, bruised ego. It's official. File a suit.
Enter look around mode. Press and hold the L1 button.
Look around mode. very very on the nose with the name. Look around mode.
Listen up, you loudballs! That was the most pathetic display I have ever seen on that obstacle course!
What do you mean?
We finished the circuit, ma'am.
Oh yeah, but it is weak.
Weak! When I was competing, I would devour courses like that for breakfast!
Bet that's not all.
If it were up to me, you would drill for the rest of the day! But somehow you managed to impress that fool Captain Quark!
Captain Quark knows about us?
He certainly does. And worst of all, he wants me to give you a prize for that ridiculous performance.
Cool, what is it?
I'm supposed to give you a swing shot, so you can sway to and fro like little insects.
All right, let's see it.
Not so fast. Today, the two of you disgraced my obstacle course, so I am going to make you pay.
But that prize is ours from the captain. That's not fair.
Too bad, life's not fair.
I've only got 200 of the bolts. I guess I need to get those. Some that I can get around here, maybe. Doesn't appear so. Just watching Fargo for background noise the other day. Oh yeah, yeah. I have to disagree with your detective work. Yeah. Minnesota nice, as they call it. Which I've been to where that movie was like filmed and everything and shot, and I never heard anyone talk like that there. Oh boy, we got a ways to go on
Quickly
bolts.
center the camera. Just tap the L1 button.
Oh. Oh well, we're getting there. Need that. Yeah, I had a work trip and I went out there. I stayed in Fargo, which is not where that movie actually like mainly takes place, but I had to drive like well, I landed in Minneapolis and then I had to drive to Fargo, stayed in Fargo, had to travel further north to an area called Grand Rapids the day after a blizzard, and that was a scary drive because it's like 6 a.m. in the morning and the snow would kick up and like the breeze would kick up and like you just couldn't see the road at all. Thankfully the roads are all straight so it wasn't like difficult to figure out where I was on the road. It could have been a big problem if the roads were not straight. But no one I ever talked to up there talked like that. I quite like the cold, personally. It's really cold here right now, actually. It's like 22 Fahrenheit, which is what, like, negative on the Celsius scale. But I quite like that. Whoa. There's landmines here. Give me 1,000, give me 1,000. Hey, alright. I mean, yeah, I'd rather be cold than hot, and whether it be for health reasons or comfort or whatever, I just prefer to be cold. Alright. Let's get the thing. Oh, I have to like do it all again? Didn't see a taxi. Well... Oh, I gotcha. You'd prefer it to be cold. Oh, here's the taxi. Feel that? I just like to wear sweaters with long-sleeved clothing, I guess. So it kind of needs to be cold for that to be a doable situation.
All the time.
Ha! Real men can swing without silly toys like that. The two of you make me sick.
Congratulations on your new Gadgetron Swing Shot. Use it on standard Versa targets like the ones nearby. If the target is out of view, use the L1 button to aim.
Yay. Oh god, it's inverted. Ooh. Cool. Everything's protected, copyrighted. Probably gonna die though. Only got one hit. Oh boy. Trying to go down the up escalator. It's pretty interesting how that stuff remains
That's
even
the man we
after
saw in the
you've
info
gone
box.
so far
Remember?
away.
He knows Captain Quark.
Hey, you're that robot guy, right?
No, actually, I build robots. I myself am not a robot guy, per se.
Nerd.
I like him.
So, now that
Ratchet's
we've
so
cleared that
mean.
up, what can I do for you?
Well, we saw your Infobot announcement. You were with Captain Quark. We're trying to find Captain Quark. We thought you could help us.
Your logic is commendable. However, I haven't seen Captain Quark since
Hello,
we shot
Sir
that
G.
commercial.
Sucks you had the flu.
Say,
I can.
Do you run on
Yeah.
standard XP18 sister boards?
Version 7.66.
That's never fun. I was sick a lot on and off throughout October and November.
How does
It was
that
really
color pack
obnoxious.
upgrade sound?
Upgrade?
Natch. Since he's a 766, I could have the little guy up and flying in no time.
Ooh,
Of course,
there we go.
I'll just need my fee for service.
All you people want money. That's what I think of your shop, sir. Oh, that's not good. I just kept catching stuff from other people in public places and whatnot, and where that was really problematic is that they had just given me, like, I was a new CPAP machine user at the time, and like trying to like get used to using that, but then being sick at the same time, and oh my god. The thing that kind of worked out for me is that my 90-day checkup got delayed twice. And it was not a 90-day checkup, but that meant that they were pulling the last 30 days from December, where I never was sick and was using it. So they were like, oh, you're doing great. And I was like, yeah, sure. glad that both of you are feeling better compared to previously. Alright, I guess I need to go back and make money. Gotta get the money out for the things I wanna buy. Gotta get the money. For the things I wanna buy. Ooh, best and worst console controller. That's a good question. So, as an adult, I've never been a fan of the N64 controller. Not to say it's the worst, but it's probably my least favorite to use personally. The only other one that comes to mind is like that original huge Xbox controller, the Duke, as they call it. Played a lot of that at a friend's house, playing like Halo and stuff, and loved the game. Really hated that controller. Favorite is probably the Xbox One controller. I like that aesthetic, and through emulation and just compatibility with other hardware, it's a controller that I found myself using a ton. I mean, even the one I'm using right now, the 8BitDo Ultimate Bluetooth, it's just an Xbox One controller. Like, that's what it is. The Switch Pro controller, like, has that kind of design to it as well. So I like that design, and it kind of started with Xbox for that. PS3 controller's pretty good too. Honorable mention. Give me all your bolts. Give me your bolts. Give me your bolts. One thing I need to try actually with the N64 is how people discovered that, like, holy crap, there's a dual controller mode for GoldenEye. Like, I need to try that myself. Oh, almost there. Thor, like based off the movie, I assume. That was definitely in that like dark age of licensed games. I think the tides started to turn with titles like Alien Isolation and Shadow of Mordor, the Batman Arkham games. They were a turning point for licensed games. Thor, Green Lantern, the Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows games, definitely the Dark Ages, for sure. I worked at GameStop at that time, and it was just kind of known that, like, that's gonna suck when like those titles came out. This is like the original Mass Effect here. Really funny. I think the PS3, that was like a thing about the PS3. Like, obviously the first party stuff would be different, but I remember reading that like the PS3's architecture was like difficult for developers to make ports for. It gave them a lot of trouble. I'm hoping the enemies respawn. Yes, they did. We will get our money. Give me my bolts. Alright, we did it. That's one of the only God of War games that I have actually played more than just a few minutes of, is 3. I played a good chunk of 3. I liked it quite a bit. That was back when demos were a thing, because I first played that via the downloadable demo. I remember back then, like, every game had demos. It was an exciting thing to download the demo for some game and be like, oh, what's this gonna be like? A lot of games I played just the demos of before owning them. Batman Arkham Asylum, never played the demo for that. It was like the whole opening of the game, and it went up until the first, like, you complete the first stealth scenario. Oh, for that. Sorry, don't mind the corpses, Mr. Shopkeep.
Hey, this won't hurt a bit.
Hey, wait. Ratchet, am I
No? The one with the
Yeah,
girlfriend.
You the man, Clank.
You're welcome.
Hey. God of War 3 and is it? Oh, I found it.
Dear PlayStation, I know in God of War 3 you're this Kratos guy seeking vengeance against the gods, but since my boyfriend got it, he's been totally ignoring me.
Okay. Oh. Okay, hold on.
Hello?
Thanks for coming.
Even the PlayStation guy's ignoring her.
3, rated M for mature.
PlayStation ads, man. So many of them are like just insane, and not always in a good way. That's pretty funny though. I remember there was like the weird like insane asylum baby thing with like the PS3. The console itself like was like a really strange one. There was like some controversial ones too. The oh, should have paid attention to the controls there. I thought we got the Hello Pack. Oh boy. Nope. Help controls. All right. Jump. Oh well. Whoops. Taxi. Alright, well, now we have that. I think that's where I will end this one. As we will kick things off. I'm trying to remember what happens next, if we're meeting Quark or not, but it's been so long. I need to like kind of re-familiarize myself with this game a little bit. That ad was definitely funny though. Commercials for games were a whole different beast back in the day. Switch it back to here. Need to do some PS3 stuff with all that said. Because I was thinking of that. There's like a lot of like really interesting PS3/360 era games. It would be fun to just like do a bunch of random samplings of in a stream. Like Blur. Remember Blur? Like, did you like Mario Kart? But did you want a Mario Kart but with like actual car brands? Stuff like that. Like would be kind of fun to mess around with. Um, and HDCP, I don't think is an issue for me because I got components set up. We could use the 5X Pro. It's not optimal because like the best looking experience is 720p, which kind of limits the color. But by doing that, there's no HDCP issues. So because obviously HDMI is better, but you can run into a lot of issues with that. But like Blur like came to mind, and then Vanquish. Remember Vanquish, the insane third-person shooter by I think it's Capcom or Platinum. No, it's Platinum. Well, Capcom probably published it, but I think it was Platinum Games. It's crazy third-person shooter thing. Just Cause 2. There's like a lot of like really goofy games that could be fun to do a stream of and just like messing around with. So that might be something for another stream. But what the plan will be for next time is probably gonna do like a CARBY focused one next weekend, since I did the Rad 2X one yesterday, and then we'll see what happens. But it's been fun to revisit Ratchet and Clank. Good game, and like I said earlier too, like super detailed character models. Like it's impressive, despite how like early this game is in the franchise. It's genuinely impressive. So that's where I will be ending today. Thanks so much, Passix, for being here with me. Thanks so much, Sir G, for joining in as well. And then to everyone who's popped in across the stream, I thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. The Rad 2X one, I exported in 4K. It took me like all day to do that, but that meant that the replay looks all the better for it. So I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'll make that the usual for the replays going forward, because it'll help them look a lot better. You know, the stream has compression, but it's fun to be live, so there's some give and take with all that. So thanks again for joining me, everyone, and I will see you on the next one.